confronting them with a little phone recording their actions, that can change a lot of things. So the problem continues. The situation is still going on in here, not as drastic as it was in 2017, but as drastic at the same time to the family who is affected. So I think that's the only thing I can have to say. So just to reminder whoever is gonna be looking at this documental, and to reminder the people with who you are going to school, and to the people that you know that they are safe because they are citizens, to remind them that they can be the difference in between a family who's been taken or not. Okay, to remember the phone number for the jar, okay, and I don't know by memory, but I'm pretty sure that Brenda knows. So, and I don't know by memory, but I have it in a spill dial in my phone, okay? So that's something that it will help a lot. If you have it, everybody that has a phone has that phone number, and even if you are not sure, but there are like, I have got calls sometimes that say, I don't know what is going on in the Home Depot, okay, but there are like almost like 20 sheriffs in there, okay, that's good. We can go and find out what is going on in there, and if there is nothing related to immigration, and it's nothing related to being an abuse of power, so we can leave it alone and go, right? But the difference between one of our residents to stay or to be taken away from their family, it may be a phone call. So please share it with everybody. Thank you.
Do the RAs have any other questions?
I really appreciate your work and activism in our organization. I find it inspiring. I wonder how other people, citizens, are not going to be involved in advocating for immigrant rights in the San Diego community.
Well, people who are not citizens but who are bilingual are very needed, for example, to answer, for example, the hotline. Okay, sometimes we don't have enough people to staff it. I cannot get sick, because if I get sick, I am in charge of the weekend, and what's gonna happen? I cannot leave in, to go to a party, okay, because I may not listen to the phone. So if there is enough people, even just somebody who can help in an emergency, like I have something to do, I have to go to the doctor, whatever, that would be very appreciated. And that job, you have never confrontation direct with with ICE, okay, or with the police, or none of the repressive forces, and that will help the community a lot.
Do you have a message to share with these youth here, but also the youth in the community about the future?
You are the hope of everyone. You are the hope to change, to change for good. You are that one, okay? Because by being open and listening to whatever happens to everybody else, and by being questioning what you see, and not taking for granted that, did you see that? I'm gonna tell you a little story. There is this gentleman in the beach flats who told me one day when he saw me, said, I'm glad I see you, I went to pick up my son at Harvard today, or Santa Cruz High today, and when I am waiting for him, I said, there is this Latino guy waiting for somebody, I guess, and this guy, this güero, go by and hit him. And the resource officer was right there, but he didn't do anything. And then I asked him, I said, wow, was that today? I said, yeah. I said, and what did you do? Oh, well, nothing, it was not my son. And I said, that's the problem. That's the problem, thinking that that kid is not your son. You are waiting until it happens to your son. Well, it's gonna happen, because if we don't stop it right now, it's gonna happen to your son, or it's gonna happen to you. So let's not wait. When you see something like that, if you don't feel empowered enough to Do something about it. Talk to an adult. Talk to the people in here. Talk to me. Talk to your parents. You know, let them know. Say why do you think, and if you think that is wrong, it's usually wrong. Okay, and if you have any doubt, put yourself on those shoes. What would you like somebody to do if you were the one who is in the middle of this? Okay, so it takes a lot of courage to do the right thing, and a little bit of craziness too. But we need both to make this world a better world for all of us.
I have one more question. Perdón, mi español no es tan fuerte, but you might have answered this, but what would community healing look like for you?
Well, the issue, for example, I'm gonna put another example from happened just very recently, just in March, middle of March, where this gentleman who was brought to the United States as a child, which means his English was perfect, no accent like mine, and he started his own business, and he has his business, three children, and the wife, and he was being successful in his business. He was detained when he was leaving the house, and that's very important too, because what he reported and many of the other people who had been detained, they reported seeing a strange by their houses, okay, in the places that they shouldn't be, and with something in the manner of that people did not resonate with them, but they didn't do nothing about it, right? So the issue is that this gentleman was taken to Oaxaca. He doesn't have any job in there. He doesn't have place to live in there. He doesn't have anything. And the wife, who was a stay-home wife, who was left with 3 kids, a house, all the equipment that the gentleman had bought for his new business, and no way to sell it, no way to do anything like that. And now she's forced to be selling everything they have in such way she can send something to the husband and being able to pay her bills in here, and being able to get the passports and the dual citizenship and all that kind of things, you know. So that woman, in that moment, the problem is not the deportation. The deportation was the main problem, but now there is other issues. It's the fact that she cannot stay here because there's no way that she will support the 3 kids by herself. Her son, one of her sons, is graduating, and he wants to stay because all his life has been in this country. So that's something that somebody can do about. Offer him a home, offer him a room, offer him support for him to stay, because we understand how difficult it's gonna be for him to go and try to make a life after 18 years in another country. Okay, all these different intersectionalities of different things that happens when de facto deportation is in the middle. That's the central, that's the most important, but there is other things. The family being unable to stay because the woman will never be able to afford rent in Santa Cruz, for example. So what we can do is to fight for everything that is wrong and look for what is right. Okay, the rents are damn too high, and therefore people cannot stay here, so let's all fight every single day to reduce the rents. There are kids who are living by themselves. There are 40 kids in Santa Cruz County who came here with no parents. Okay, and they are living from neighbor to neighbor, from relative to relative, and so on so. So let's do something to support those kids. Let's show them that it's okay to say, I am one of them. Because if he said that or she said that, it's gonna be safe. Okay, how, I don't even know, I don't even have the answer for all the questions. I just know that all these things happen in the community. But I know for sure that I am not the one to solve that problem, because if I don't have an answer, means that it's not for me. It's for maybe one of you, maybe for you, to start thinking about it and thinking, what can we do? One of those kids may be in your school. One, even if not that kid, there is a kid in your school who has just arrived, who doesn't speak English, with his little brother, and whose mom was not allowed to migrate. Okay, that kid needs support. That kid needs friends. That kid needs just a smile when you cross in the the hall. Just a smile. Many times it's the big difference between feeling welcome and feeling that you are in an alien world. Okay, so we all can do something about it. But there's not only one thing. We have to do it all along the border and everything. We need to build community, basically, every day. I hope that answered your question, or give you more, whatever.
Before ending, no one else has a question. I know that you're working with a couple of organizations. Those organizations are working with people who are allies and people who are citizens. What are other organizations across town where citizens, anyways, can get involved with or can maybe, I don't know, give money to, that you know that are good work out here for
In the county? Well, I know, for example, that if the Community Action Board had the money, they would probably be able to provide better services. It's very difficult for people who lives in beach flats,
Right.
having to go all the way there. Okay, one of the things, for example, those people, by close to Christmas, we got the request for 20 guys who need to go to San Jose to apply for passport, and we had to provide the transportation for them, because starting with the fact they were afraid to do it in their own, to travel out of the county in their own. But things like that, like, okay, we know that people needs or should have dual citizenship. All kids born from undocumented parents need their double citizenship, just in case. If there is nothing else, and the only thing that they can do is just to grab the kids at least are gonna have a way to come back, and they are gonna be allowed to stay there. Okay, all that kind of things. Let's bring the embajada aquí. Okay, they come twice per year. Let's bring them 4 times per year. Let's make it possible. All that kind of things, and for that you don't need money. You just need the power, the will to say, okay, we need you to come to Puentes. We are gonna have this thing going on, and we want them in there. Okay, so the power of university behind that request is priceless. Okay, things like that. And the other hand, what I suggest for you is if you want something that is gonna go direct to the people, okay, JAR is the answer, because JAR is the one that helps with rent in case that they don't have any more money, help with food, help with transportation, and things like that. Okay? Thank you for your question.
Anything else, girls?
I don't think so.
Good.
Can we redo the introduction where you just ask her who she is, because there was a car in it right when Ernestina was responding? Just ask the very beginning. Please.
Like from the start?
Yeah, just like who she is and when she introduces herself.
Okay.
I think it's the small talk and so
I forgot what I said.
I really think it was just like when you're saying your name,
Okay.
so you don't have to do too much.
My name is Ernestina Saldaña, and I am a resident of Santa Cruz County.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. For my